Welcome back to Naysmith Gaming. I'm the Naysmith, here to give you a game to enjoy and some questions to think about. I'm going to try a new style this time because of the frequent crashes and some problems I've been having with my microphone. I'm going to need to verify. In which I'm only going to show the dialogue and the quest itself, not the individual battles. I've actually been planning on making that change, but it was only going to be after I got to
You found
Redcliffe.
Alistair, did you? Good. I'll assume you're ready to begin preparations.
After I got to the other
Of
place.
course, that you're quite finished riling up mages, Alistair.
What can I say? The revered mother ambushed me. The way she wields guilt, they should stick her in the army.
She forced you to sass the mage, did she? We cannot afford to antagonize anyone, Alistair. We don't need to give anyone more ammunition against us.
You're right, Duncan. I apologize.
Now then, since you're all here, we can begin. You four will be heading into the Kokari Wilds to perform two tasks. The first is to obtain 3 vials of Darkspawn blood. 1 for each recruit.
What do we need it for?
For the joining itself. I'll explain more once you've returned.
And the second task?
There was once a Grey Warden archive in the wilds, abandoned long ago when we could no longer afford to maintain such remote outposts. It has recently come to our attention that some scrolls have been left behind, magically sealed to protect them. Alistair, I want you to retrieve these scrolls if you can.
What kind of scrolls are they?
Treaties, if you're curious. Promises of support made to the Grey Wardens long ago. They were once considered only formalities. With so many having forgotten their commitments to us, I suspect it may be a good idea to have something to remind them with.
Understood.
Watch over your charges, Alistair. Return quickly and safely.
We will.
Then may the Maker watch over your path. I will see you when you return.
I will see you when, in just a moment from your perspective, or from mine, when I get to the next plot point. Actually, wait. There's some important dialogue, actually pertaining to getting there.
Hail. I'm told you all have business in the wilds. The gate's open for you. Just be careful out there. Even a Grey Warden won't be safe in the forest tonight.
The scene change there, after Hail, he was basically, as best I can tell, the game had 2 different cutscenes, and one of them was default, one was the one that actually played. But anyway, I will see you when I get to the next plot point. Okay, I just killed a bunch of wolves, and the first thing I see is a Missionary Rigby. Missionary Jogby. Sorry, Rigby is the other one in the pair. The letter to Jogby. This is my 3rd attempt at recording this after some microphone and crashing issues. Everything can be looked up. More importantly is this dying soldier.
Who is that? Grey Wardens?
Well, he's not half as dead as he looks, is he?
My scouting band was attacked by Darkspawn. They came out of the ground. Please help me. I've got to return to camp.
We can bandage him. Basically we're close to camp, so it's not that far.
I have bandages in my pack.
Thank you. I've got to get out of here.
Did you hear? An entire patrol of seasoned men killed by Darkspawn.
Calm down, Sir Jory. We'll be fine if we're careful.
Those soldiers were careful, and they were still overwhelmed. How many Darkspawn can the 4 of us slay? A dozen? 100? There's an entire army in these forests.
There are Darkspawn about, but we're in no danger of walking into the bulk of the Horde.
How do you know? I'm not a coward, but this is foolish and reckless. We should go back.
I could say that I have magic at my command, but I think it'd be better if I just did overcoming the dangerous part of the
That's
test.
true.
Know this. All Grey Wardens can sense Darkspawn. Whatever their cunning, I guarantee they won't take us by surprise. That's why I'm here.
You see, Sir Knight, we might die, but we'll be warned about it first.
That is reassuring.
That doesn't mean I'm here to make this easy, however. So let's get a move on.
Okay. Basically, this is foreshadowing of how Sir Jory is a coward. Previously, he doesn't like mages, afraid of magic, superstitious, all that. So basically, this is an early how do you react to these situations puzzle. Well, not puzzle, scenario. And the end. Well, you saw how I chose. Davith, find it ironic that the thief has better, is stronger of will than Jory, but 17 willpower to 15. And a fair bit more cunning, too. He also has lower constitution. But, anyway. I will see you at the next, plot point. So anyway, I'm going to stop the recording and then restart in just a moment. I should not have bothered stopping the recording. I forgot right here, just a little bit south, is the Wildflower.
On it.
Which I'm going to quickly take back to the start. Because this Wildflower is in fact the one for saving the Mabari Hound. Yeah, I really should not have bothered stopping the recording. One of these quests that I'm going to just try and do all at once for the sake of continuous recordings, but this is not it.
The Mabari's stable for now, but not improving. Unless I get that herb I told you about, there's not much hope.
Is this the flower?
Let me see. Yeah, that's exactly it. Wonderful. Give me a moment and I'll make this into an ointment. He looks better already. I'm sure he'd thank you himself if he could.
What will happen to him now?
Let's give him a day or two to recover. Why not come back after the battle? Perhaps we can see about imprinting him on you.
Think that's possible?
Maybe. It's likely he understands you're responsible for curing him. Mabari are at least as smart as your average tax collector. Come back after the battle and just... or take another look.
Okay. Now I will see you again when I get to actual quests. I'm not going to show collecting the actual Darkspawn blood, because that's just a matter of looting the bodies and getting the blood from that. But the rest of the quests I will show. Okay. Okay. In my exploration, I have acquired all the Darkspawn blood. This area here had a group of wolves fighting Darkspawn. But more importantly, it has Rigby, who gives his last will and testament. He speaks of a, I have not actually found the ruin. That his testament, last will and testament speak of. But that chest there is unpickable unless you playing as a rogue. Davith can't do it. But anyway, that was this bit of the quest. Okay. This is two spots of importance. This one Mud idol, studded leather armor. No leather armor. What's most important, though, is the field journal, which tells me the signs of the chastened. I'm actually going to ignore these chastened trail signs for a little bit, so I can do them all at once. Just because I don't want to have to keep pausing the recording and all that. More importantly, more immediate though, is the hidden cache. One of the themes of this game is what's justified in the case of a blight. What sort of immoral actions in the name of the power necessary to destroy this tremendous threat. If I were to open the lockbox, only the Grey Wardens would know, and they would think I was justified. I'm gonna bring it back to Jeddah. A nice little what you are in the dark puzzle. Scenario. Sort of like helping that soldier earlier. Anyway. I'm going to keep going, and I'll see you when I get to the next major quest thing. Okay. In this chest here, located here, down this path, I found a farewell to Jogby. Past these wolves. This time around, they actually managed to cost me one of my injury kits. Alistair got downed. But yeah. Early game, I haven't had time to build up my proper combos yet. And I'm about to get ambushed, so I'm going to show you the ambush. Because I can hear that coming.
I think we work well together.
I shall do it.
Okay, I'll see you as soon as another plot point comes up. This fight was more difficult this time around. Anyway, this time it's giving me the option to get Pouch of Ashes and Local Myths and Legends. So Pinch of Ashes quest. I've actually gone far enough that the chase and trail signs are, it's actually worth my time to go after the chase and trail signs, because I've unlocked all the spots where they'll be. That was, brutal. Penalty to nature resistance, I don't care about that. Basically, I just used up all my lesser health, lesser injury kits. Really? Traps are so useful for defense. But anyway, time to go for all those chase and trail signs. Basically a little exploration quest where only the map helpers tell me exactly where to go, as opposed to, say, the Last Will and Testament one, where I had to actually read the thing. I didn't read it on screen, but I did know to look at the campfire. Interesting, doing it two ways, showing me that I might have to go for reading the instructions, or I could just go for the map. But which one is correct will differ.
Looky here.
So yeah, basically just following the trail signs.
What's this?
That chest also can't be opened unless the player is a rogue with the lockpicking ability.
It shall be done.
There's another sign all the way over there. So loop around. This game has various injuries. They each do regular penalty stuff, whereas the next game only has flat penalties to stats. The same thing. There's actually a decent plot point reason for that. Well, framing device. I'm about to get ambushed. Winter's Grasp is so fun. It's just basically a free stun. So I have one big fight over here. I have that pinch of ashes thing. So basically I'll see you at pinch of ashes and when I get to the when I finally meet Morrigan. I am now at Pinch of Ashes. This is an ash-themed enemy. I'm going to ignore the fire. Sprinkle more ash on the stones.
You are no match for me! Let's grab some glory! We...
Very well.
Don't say I didn't warn you!
Let's have at it!
It shall be done. Later, as you say. Very well. Our skill has won the day.
A simple yet brutal fight. Pile of Gazarath. The ornamental sword is actually bugged in the base game. Can't get it, so I downloaded a mod to fix all the bugged items. Enchanter's Footing is good defense, so I'll give that to a rogue. Namely Liliana when I get her. So there's basically this big fight here, and then I meet Morrigan and Flemmeth over here. I will see you then. I have lost track of how many times microphone malfunctioning or something, or my screen recorder not realizing, oh, I'm supposed to be recording voice, has messed with this. I regard this particular scene as a case study in
Well, well. What have we here?
in how being polite and reasonable can get you far.
Are you a vulture, I wonder? A scavenger, poking amidst a corpse whose bones were long since cleaned?
If
Or
the other
merely an
people...
intruder, come into these darkspawn-filled wilds of mine in search of easy prey? What say you, Scavenger or intruder?
I forgot how relentlessly the characters in this talk. A case study in how being polite and reasonable can get you far. If the other side is 1, also polite and reasonable, 2, not incredibly greedy. Let's take the polite option. I am neither. The Grey Wardens once owned this tower.
'Tis a tower no longer. The wilds have obviously claimed this desiccated corpse. I have watched your progress for some time. Where do they go, I wondered? Why are they here? And now you disturb ashes none have touched for so long. Why is that?
Don't answer her. She looks chastened, and that means others may be nearby.
Oh, you fear barbarians will swoop down upon you.
Yes, swooping is bad.
She's a witch of the wilds, she is. She'll turn us into toads.
Witch of the Wilds. Such idle fancies, those legends. Have you no minds of your own? You there, handsome lad. Tell me your name and I shall tell you mine. Let us be civilized.
The others are fearful and get nowhere fast. Meanwhile, it takes me a little bit of time to get there, but I'm actually able to make progress here by being polite. I am Dalen. Pleasure to meet you.
Now that is a proper civil greeting, even here in the wilds. You may call me Morrigan. Shall I guess your purpose? You sought something in that chest? Something that is here no longer?
Here no longer. You stole them, didn't you? You're some kind of sneaky witch thief.
How very eloquent. How does one steal from dead men?
Quite easily, it seems. Those documents are Grey Warden property, and I suggest you return them.
I will not, for 'twas not I who removed them. Invoke a name that means nothing here any longer if you wish. I am not threatened.
Meanwhile, the others jump to assumptions without even bothering to check further details properly. Meanwhile, I will quickly find out the answers, and who removed them.
'Twas my mother, in fact.
Can you take us to her?
There is a sensible request. I like you.
I'd be careful. First it's, I like you, but then zap. Frog time.
She'll put us all in the pot, she will. Just you watch.
If the pot's warmer than this forest, it'd be a nice change.
Follow me then, if it pleases you. Greetings, Mother. I bring before you 4 Grey Wardens who...
I see them, girl. Much as I expected.
Are we supposed to believe you were expecting us?
You are required to do nothing, least of all believe. Shut one's eyes tight or open one's arms wide. Either way, one's a fool.
She's a witch, I tell you. We shouldn't be talking to her.
Quiet, Dareth. If she's really a witch, do you want to make her mad?
There is a smart lad. Sadly irrelevant to the larger scheme of things, but it is not I who decides. Believe what you will. And what of you? Do you possess a different viewpoint? Or do you believe as the others do?
She's clearly faking her insanity. And faking being so eccentric. There's a certain wisdom lurking behind her eyes and her words. Shut your eyes or open your arms. Both those are extremes. In between would be keeping your eyes open, but also being cautious. I have insufficient information to know what to do, so I'm not sure what to believe.
A statement that possesses more wisdom than it implies. Be always aware. Or is it oblivious? I can never remember. So much about you is uncertain, and yet I believe. Do I? Why, it seems I do.
So this is a dreaded Witch of the Wilds.
Witch of the Wilds, huh? Morrigan must have told you that. She fancies such tales, though she would never admit it.
Ooh, that face
how
palm.
she dances under the moon.
They did not come to listen to your wild tales, Mother.
True, they came for their treaties, yes? And before you begin barking, your precious seal wore off long ago. I have protected these.
You... Oh, you protected them?
And why not? Take them to your Grey Wardens and tell them this Blight's threat is greater than they realize.
Thank you for returning them.
Such manners. Always in the last place you look. Like stockings. Oh, do not mind me. You have what you came for.
Time for you to go, then.
Do not be ridiculous, girl. These are your guests.
Oh, very well. I will show you out of the woods. Follow me.
So anyway, that's that taken care of. Time to go to Duncan. I'd like to point out that Jory is usually the most frightful of them. He's the one who breaks. Good chunk of this, recurring plot points in this. What's justified against the Blight? I've mentioned before, the Grey Wardens go for anything that's justified against the Blight.
So you
So there's
returned from the wilds. Have you been successful?
We have.
Good. I've had the Circle Mages preparing. With the blood you've retrieved, we can begin the joining immediately.
Maybe we should tell you about Morrigan and her mother.
There was a woman at the tower, and her mother had the scrolls. They were both very... odd.
Were they wilder folk?
I don't think so. They might be apostates. Mages hiding from the Chantry.
I know you were once a Templar, Alistair, but Chantry business is not ours. We have the scrolls. Let us focus on the joining.
Will you tell us what it's about?
I will not lie. We Grey Wardens pay a heavy price to become what we are. Fate may decree that you pay your price now, rather than later.
Is that why it's so secret?
If only such secrecy were unnecessary, and all understood the necessity of such sacrifice. Sadly, that will never be so.
Let's go then. I'm anxious to see this joining now.
I agree. Let's have it done.
Then let us begin. Alistair, take them to the old temple.
The more I hear about this joining, the less I like it.
Are you blubbering again?
Why all these damn tests? Have I not earned my place?
Maybe it's tradition. Maybe they're just trying to annoy you.
So basically, Jory is the glory seeker. Well, Davith is actually willing to see it through. Basically, it's less about how... I think it's less that everyone needs to understand the necessity of the sacrifice, and more enough people need to understand and to know to ignore the people who don't understand, or to understand enough to teach them better. Calm down, nothing we can do about now.
My wife is in Highover with a child on the way. If they had warned me, it just doesn't seem fair.
Would you have come if they'd warned you? Maybe that's why they don't. The Wardens do what they must, right?
Including sacrificing us?
I'd sacrifice a lot more if I knew it would end the Blight.
Make a good point.
You saw those Darkspawns tonight. Wouldn't you die to protect your pretty wife from them?
Maybe
you'll die. Maybe we'll all die. If nobody stops the Darkspawn, we'll die for sure.
I've just never faced a foe I could not engage with my blade.
At last, we come to the joining. The Grey Wardens were founded during the First Blight, when humanity stood on the verge of annihilation. So it was that the first Grey Wardens drank of Darkspawn blood and mastered their taint.
We're going to drink the blood of those creatures.
As the first Grey Wardens did before us, as we did before you. This is the source of our power and our victory.
Those who survive the joining become immune to the taint. We can sense it in the Darkspawn and use it to slay the Archdemon.
Corruption would have been a better word, I think. Well, let's get on with it.
We speak only a few words prior to the joining, but these words have been said since the first. Alistair, if you would.
Join us, brothers and sisters. Join us in the shadows where we stand vigilant. Join us as we carry the duty that cannot be forsworn. And should you perish, know that your sacrifice will not be forgotten. And that one day, we shall join you.
Davith, step forward.
I wish there was a way for me to offer to be the first one to drink before Jory, so that he could see if there is a survival chance. But anyway, with both joinings in this game, well, both the joining in this game and the joining in Awakening, there's always someone who dies to show the stakes.
Maker's breath.
I am sorry, Davith. Step forward, Jory.
But I have a wife, a child. Had I known...
There is no turning back.
No! You ask too much. There is no glory in this.
I am sorry.
This moment of brutality is going to define,
But the joining is not yet complete.
it's going to define my new characterization after this.
You are called upon to submit yourself to the taint for the greater good.
Basically, a new defining moment alongside
From
the
this
choice...
moment forth, you are a Grey Warden.
alongside the choice I made in the Mage to Origin regarding Jalen. It's cause for reflection.
It is finished. Welcome.
2 more deaths. In my joining, only one of us died, but it was horrible. I'm glad at least one of you made it through.
How do you feel?
That's more painful than the harrowing.
Such is what it takes to be a Grey Warden.
Did you have dreams? I had terrible dreams after my joining.
Such dreams come when you begin to sense the Darkspawn, as we all do. That and many other things can be explained in the months to come.
Before I forget, there is one last part to your joining. We take some of that blood and put it in a pendant. Something to remind us of those who didn't make it this far.
Take some time. When you're ready, I'd like you to accompany me to a meeting with the king.
Very well.
The meeting is to the west, down the stairs. Please attend as soon as you're able.
Okay. What I got was a Warden's Oath, which is +2 Constitution, aka +10 health. Not much, compared to +5% fire damage. I want to have Cunning at 14. So I can take the next, whatchamacallit, basically, I've gotten as much fire magic as I need. I'm going to want to fill up my mage category. I'm also going to want, I'm basically going to be focused on primal. Morrigan is going to focus on entropy. When I get wind, she's going to focus on creation. Spirit, on the other hand, really depends. Like, Mind Blast is going to always be... There's just so many useful spells. The next big one I want, though, is Mana Clash. which will require 33 magic. AKA, I need to invest 2 magic every for my next 2 level ups. Anyway, that's it for today's episode. Thank you for watching and have a good day. This is